You've watched football your whole life. Player shoots, ball goes in. You cheer, but have you ever actually looked at how they shoot? Because here's the thing, there is no single way to shoot in football. There are at least 10 completely different techniques. Each one does something different to the ball. Each one is used in a specific situation, and the best strikers in the world choose between them in a fraction of a second, without thinking. That's not talent, that's a skill. And once you understand what each shot does, you'll never watch football the same way again. First, some context. The average top-level footballer takes around 2 to 3 shots per game. Elite strikers convert between 15 and 20% of their total shots into goals. The very best, like Chris Wood in the Premier League 2025-26 season, reached 26%. That means even the best striker in the league misses 74% of his shots. So why does it matter which shot you use? Because the right shot in the right situation dramatically increases your chance of scoring. A shot from 25 meters has an expected goals value, XG, of around 0.03. That means a 3% chance of scoring. A shot from 6 meters, inside the box, after a cross, XG of 0.5 or higher, 50% chance. Same player, completely different shot situation, completely different outcome probability. Choosing the right shot technique is about maximizing your probability in that specific moment. Let's go through them. The most common shot in football, side of the foot, controlled, aimed at a specific spot, not the corner of the net, the exact corner of the net. There's a difference. Most players aim for the goal. Elite players aim for a specific square foot of the goal. Messi does not shoot at the goal. He shoots at the space between the goalkeeper's left hand and the post. Every time. The placement shot is slower than a power shot, but here's why it scores more often. Goalkeepers react to speed. They dive based on anticipation and movement. A precisely placed shot that goes exactly where the keeper isn't scores every single time. That's why placement beats power more often than most people think. But sometimes, placement is not an option. Defenders are closing in. You have half a second, maybe less. This is where the power shot comes in. Laces, full follow-through, everything behind the ball. The goal isn't precision, the goal is speed. A ball traveling at 120 kilometers per hour gives the goalkeeper approximately 0.4 seconds to react. From 25 meters, the average human reaction time is 0.25 seconds, so the keeper has just 0.15 seconds of actual reaction time. That's why power shots from distance score. Not because they're accurate, because the keeper simply doesn't have time. Haaland's most dangerous weapon is not his heading or his positioning. It's his ability to generate maximum power with minimum backlift. The ball is gone before the keeper processes what happened. Everyone thinks the toe poke is a beginner mistake. It's not. The toe poke is the fastest shot in football. No backlift, no wind-up, no preparation. The ball is here. You flick your toe, the ball is gone. Defenders can't read it because there's no movement to read. Goalkeepers can't react to it because it happens too fast. In tight spaces, inside the 6-yard box, through a crowd of players, the toe poke is the only shot that physically works. You don't have room to swing your leg. You don't have time to set up properly. You just poke it. Watch Mbappe in the penalty area. Watch Vinicius when defenders are all over him. The toe poke appears in more goals than most people realize, because it's not pretty, but it works. This one is physics. When a ball spins through the air, the spin creates a predictable curve. The goalkeeper reads the spin. He moves to where the ball will be. The knuckleball has 0 spin. A ball with no spin moves unpredictably. Air pressure around the ball shifts randomly. The ball dips. It moves left. It moves right. Mid-flight. Nobody knows where it's going, including the person who kicked it. Ronaldo built an entire free kick career on this shot. The technique: hit the ball dead center with the knuckle area of your foot. No spin, straight follow-through. Don't rotate your ankle. When it works, the ball moves like it's being controlled by something invisible. That's not magic. That's aerodynamics. The most beautiful shot in football, and the most used at free kicks. Here's the physics. When you strike the outside of the ball with the inside of your foot, you create side spin. Side spin creates a pressure difference on either side of the ball. This is called the Magnus effect. The ball curves. In a free kick situation, there's a wall of defenders standing between you and the goal. A straight shot hits the wall. A curved shot goes around it. The best free kick takers in the world can curve a ball by up to 3 to 4 meters mid-flight, starting outside the post, ending inside the net. The goalkeeper stands in the center. He can't cover both sides. That's why the curveball wins free kicks. The goalkeeper rushes off his line. He's seen the striker take the ball around him. He's coming fast. And then the striker doesn't shoot. He chips. The ball floats slowly over the goalkeeper's head, over his outstretched arms, and drops into the empty net. The chip shot requires perfect reading of the situation. You need to see the keeper coming before he does. You need the composure to chip when everything in your body is telling you to shoot hard. It's the coolest goal in football, not because it's difficult technically, but because it requires a completely calm mind in the highest pressure moment. Messi has chipped goalkeepers from 25 meters, while defenders were closing him down, while the goalkeeper was coming out, completely calm. Football is a feet game, except when it isn't. Around 20 to 25% of goals in elite football are scored with the head. Corners, free kicks, crosses. Anytime the ball comes through the air, headers become the primary weapon, and defenders hate them, because defending a good header is nearly impossible. The key, and most people don't know this, is not jumping high, it's timing. You don't want to head the ball at the highest point of your jump. You want to head it on the way up, because on the way up, you're still accelerating. More velocity, more power, and direction. Aim down. A header that goes downward bounces up off the ground. Goalkeepers cannot save a ball that bounces off the ground in front of them. It changes direction at the last millisecond. That's why headers to the ground score more often than headers to the top corner. The ball is in the air. It hasn't bounced yet. You hit it before it touches the ground. That's a volley, and it's the hardest shot for a goalkeeper to save. Why? Because the ball comes from an unexpected height and angle. Goalkeepers train constantly for shots from the ground. A volley at chest height, struck with full power, from an angle they haven't read. That's a different problem entirely. The technique. You don't wait for the ball. You move your body to the ball, adjust your height, lock your ankle, strike through the center. Too high, and you miss the goal entirely. Too low, and you drive it into the ground. The margin of error is tiny. That's why a perfect volley gets a standing ovation in any stadium in the world, every single time. Here's the thing that separates world-class strikers from good strikers. World-class strikers choose their shot before the ball arrives. They scan the goalkeeper's position, the defender positions, the angle they'll receive the ball. By the time the ball reaches their foot, the decision is already made. No hesitation, no second guessing, just execution. This is why Haaland scores tap-ins that look easy. They're not easy. He positioned himself perfectly because he read the play 3 seconds before everyone else. This is why Mbappe scores impossible shots at full sprint. He already knew what shot he was going to use before the pass was played. The shot selection happens in the brain, before the foot. That's why the best strikers in the world look calm. They're not calm. They've already made the hard decision. The execution is the easy part. 10 shots, 10 different situations, 10 different outcomes. The placement shot when there's space, the power shot when there's no time, the toe poke when there's no room, the knuckleball when there's a wall, the chip when the keeper commits, the header when the ball is in the air, and the volley when everything lines up perfectly. Next time you watch a goal, don't just watch if it went in. Watch which shot they used and why. Subscribe to Why Football. We explain the game, simply, no jargon, no assumptions.